I won't name a lot of B school interviews, but some of the interviews you will feel like, why the hell are these people asking me these questions in an MBA interview? And why are they so harsh? We have something other than international exchange as well, which is called a global fast track. This is also something that sets SPJIMR apart from other B schools. In global fast track, the entire cohort, so it's a mandatory course, the entire cohort will go to a foreign nation and will have a 3 week course. So this time we are going to Michigan, US. So
Hi Gokul, a very warm welcome to the podcast. How are you doing?
thank you, Kripal. Nice to see you and listen to you. I'm doing well. And how about you?
I'm also trying to pull along, but one correction, it's not Kripal, it's Kripal. A lot of people get it
Sorry,
wrong.
sorry. Okay, Kripal. Okay.
And how is your YouTube journey coming along? You also happen to be a YouTuber. I see a lot of your vlogs. How is that
Yes.
coming along?
So yeah, I like to create content. In my free time, I like to invest some time to video creation. But after joining MB, it's not like very consistent. Depending upon the time that we get. Now the problem is, even though I have a lot of time in my second year, you have to have that mood to continue doing the content creation kind of thing. So sometime when I'm in mood, I'll try to create content. It's mainly to help people more than like what you say, like more than I'm doing something kind of an entertainment content. It's more like to
Informative
push
content.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, to push people to get their dream be school. So whenever I get time and mood, I'm trying to cope it up.
Hope
Cope
that
up.
time and mood is intact today as well for this
Yeah.
podcast.
Today though I've signed up for Kripa. I told him like this 1 hour is mainly for you. So yeah, today I'm
I'm
ready.
more than pleased. I'm
Kind
more
of
than
role.
pleased. But so Gokul, under what capacity do you work at Mahindra Group?
Mahindra, so people usually know Mahindra by the name GMC in the B school spectrum, the group management cadre. So we are also part of the group program where we'll work for the group, and based upon the requirements of different companies, Mahindra companies, we'll be assigned role regarding that. But now they have made it a slightly different niche kind of a program, which I can't disclose the name and details right now because we will be the first batch. So it's like similar to GMC, where we'll be joining as group employees, and based on the requirement and different Mahindra companies, we'll be assigned role based on that. It's a gen role,
It's a
but
general
yeah,
role.
yeah, but you have the possibility to work on a vertical that you have chosen. So I am from the sales and marketing vertical. So most of my projects or my responsibilities will be aligned to the vertical that I choose.
So, Gokul, a couple of questions on the follow up as well. So, do you think most of the companies out there, the big industrial corporations, they're going out there and making exclusive leagues of certain B schools where they'll only target them for getting their employees?
Mm, so depends. Like so basically this Genman role is offered by mostly the conglomerates, and so if you see the conglomerates, mainly Tata, Aditya Birla, Mahindra, Reliance, Adani, etc. So like some of them have this exclusivity, and some of them don't go for this. For example, Tata has been in this exclusivity sphere for a long time. They'll go to a certain B schools only. Even Mahindras visit a certain B schools. They will have their own rationale behind choosing that. Like more than just an employee, they are looking for leaders. That's how they pan it out. So they want people who don't just want to work in a particular domain. They want people who can actually take up the business in the future. But there are other conglomerates, like I mentioned, Adani, Reliance, everything, who are visiting other campuses as well, not like a specific set of campuses. It's all depends upon their HR policy and how that year pans out.
How that year pans out. Currently, the year is not doing very well, to be as
Yes.
precise as possible. But
Yes.
talking of your trajectory, Gokul, how were you sort of able to zero down on the idea of working in the vertical of sales and marketing? How did
Hmm.
you achieve that clarity?
So again, like this brings back to my interview days where the panelist asked me, "You are a mechanical engineer. Why MBA right now, and why specifically so in SPJIMR's case, you have to choose your specialization prior to your admission. So why
Yeah.
marketing? So like it was very organic, Kripal. Like I started off being a mechanical engineer. Then obviously like most of like 70% engineers, I realized that this is not my cup of tea. I actually really liked my subject. It's not like I hated engineering and I ended up in engineering. No, I took engineering and I prepared and got into a good college by my own choice. But later on, I thought like whenever after third year or in my fourth year, whenever I am going for a company wise event or something, I saw that the input that a engineer or a technical person that puts into a business is way less than a person who are actually doing business or management on its own. So even though you are a good engineer and you are leading a team, but at the end of the day, your possibility is limited. But in case of a management role, and especially if you are driving the company, so if you are in a sales and marketing role, you are driving the top line, right? So you are giving business for the company, and the responsibilities and also the kind of roles and the power that you have on a firm is kind of more than what you get in a technical field. So slightly that interest developed, and by the time I graduated, I got an offer from one of the startups in the sales and marketing domain only. So I thought I'll give it a try. Anyway, I didn't want to go into any IT jobs like most of the IT people, sorry, most of the engineering folks will do.
Yes. Yeah.
So I tried it, I liked it. So I thought I will continue it. Then I understood like if I am progressing like this in the startup, maybe this is not this won't be the place that I would reach where I decide. So I thought an MBA would be the right track to boost up my career. So I
Makes
ended up
sense.
doing an MBA.
Makes sense.
So
I had my ears raised at the very point you mentioned that more than the engineers, it is the sales and marketing guys who make the contribution. That coming
uh,
from an engineer was a little hard for me to digest.
it's not like the contribution I'm saying. It's like
The
impact
quality of
mostly.
contribution you were implying that,
The
right?
impact I'm saying.
The impact.
So, for example, if you are a great engineer, I'm not disregarding engineers' effort and everything because firstly I'm engineer. So I'm saying, so if you are building a top of the notch technology for a company and everything, but if that product, for suppose it's a VR headset, so for we can take the example of Apple Vision Pro only. It is
Hmm.
designed by some of the best minds, greater minds in the whole world. But if at all the Apple Vision Pro is here and you are not able to sell that, then the whole point of putting this much effort into creating such a novel product will come into veins, right? So it all depends on how the people takes it, how you find a product which is actually desirable for your target audience, and how you can actually communicate it to them that this is the product that will be best suited for you. So it's a combination of all these things. But in my kind of personality, I thought rather than putting a lot of effort into the technical thing, I am able to do something on the business and a client facing kind of a thing. Client facing in the sense you are contributing to the communication, you're contributing to understanding the consumer behavior, etc. So I thought this is something more interesting and which I would be enthusiastic to do for a longer period of time than just designing or modeling a particular thing. So no, what you call nothing.
Disregard towards the engineers.
Yeah, nothing personal with engineers. Anyway, I will always say I am first an engineer, then only a marketer.
Wow. But seems like the MBA is working wonders on you the way you explained the supply chain of Apple Vision Pro. Seems like all the MBA jargon is getting to you. Good to know that,
Yeah.
Gokul. So, coming on to the more important aspect of this podcast, Gokul, you must have had these aspirations of making it to top B schools. So, how did you narrow down on the decision of choosing SP Gen of all the colleges?
Okay. So it's like any other person who's preparing for B school. So like in my case, my point was it's not like I didn't have I specifically didn't had that IAM phobia. It's like I didn't had that notion ki if I'm not getting an IM, I'm not joining this. I was not like that. It's like always top 20 colleges for me initially when I was starting up. So obviously you will narrow down it with your rankings. There'll be a lot of not NERF ranking per se, I'm saying. A lot of people will know there's a lot of discrepancy between NERF ranking and the actual experience that you'll get.
Yeah. Yeah.
But people in the MBA spectrum will know like who all are in the top 10 list, who are all in the top 20. So starting off, I kept my expectations very less. So I was preparing for top 20 B school only. If I'm getting into top 20 B school, I'm happy. So because the previous year I actually got into a top 20 B school, top 20, 25, top 30 B school. So my thing was if I'm getting into top 20, I'm okay with that.
Should be over.
Then the preparation started. So mocks in the mocks and all, I was getting somewhere around 98 percentile range in the percentile, I think. But on the D day, it was not that great for me. So I ended up in the 95 percentile spectrum. And at the same time, I was applying for all the B schools that I have been shortlisted. Sorry, I was getting shortlisted in this percentile range. But again, SPJIMR, so it's stuck. So it will get stuck into all the people's eyes and everything because of the fact that the cutoff is 85 percentile. So when they say 85 percentile, it is for profile based calls. So
Yep.
if you are going for profile plus score based call, it will be 97, 98 kind of thing. But that stuck to me because I was like, okay, I was going through the things and SPJMA only 85 percent, this much average salary, this much program, everything is really good, but only 85 percentile. So that stuck with me. I applied. Then after getting shortlisted to SPJM, I got a profile based call only because I got only 95 percentile. But after that only I started researching about this institute and found it very attractive because there are a lot of things that SPJM do which other colleges pretty much won't even do in a
If
B
them-
school atmosphere.
we'll
So
try discussing about that later on as well. But one
sure,
important thing you mentioned in between is that you were averaging 98 percentile in most of your mocks, but on the
yeah.
D day your performance came down. Do
Mhm.
can you come up with any specific reasons why your performance was not up to the mark on the D day?
I say like it's so actually like another it's like another mock exam, but on a D day there are a lot of factors. So what happened with me was like when I was starting with my preparation, I was never a VRC guy. So I struggled in VRC coming being an engineer, but I had almost all the QA concepts covered. So in the QM part I was pretty strong. But gradually when I prepared for CAT, I was improving in the VRC thing, but I don't know the actual reason, but somehow the quantitative ability part, I was sticking onto a pattern. I was having a blockage at a particular score limit. I was not able to score beyond that. Then I understood, okay, this is something that I need to rectify. And I tried pushing all three sections. And usually people will have QA section, either QA section strong or BA section strong. But in my case, I was pretty comfortable with my DLR. So I was scoring pretty consistent in my DLR. But DL is such a section that you can't boost your score after a certain limit. So it was like I was focusing on all three sections than just pushing one section and getting the cutoff for another section. But on the D day, VRC was kind of similar to the mocks only, so I completed that. But in DALR, I struggled a bit. So my set selection was not at par. I didn't get time for completing two entire sets. So that part got perplexed. I attempted only 7 questions. And then when I moved on to QA, the biggest thing that like you asked, like what is the difference? The biggest difference will be that when you are moving to QA, the things that will come into your head will be not just QA, but like, okay, I have made a mess of my DLR. Will I get a shortlist? So will I clear the cutoff for this? So when I was solving all the QA problems, the one major thought that I had was, okay, I messed up the DLR. So If I don't get if I don't clear the sectional cutoff, what is the point of scoring a lot in the overall CAT? Then you will convince yourself, okay, let's try this. Let's see where the percentile takes us. So we'll just put in our effort in this. So all these perplexed thoughts, which won't come in mock, will come in on the D-Day. So it's all mostly about a mind game when it comes to the CAT D-Day. But yeah, like thankfully when I got this percentile, I think the CAT scorecard, the all the 7 that I answered in DLR was right. So that was the thing. Otherwise, I would have ended up in 90 percentile or even less than that. So yeah, but the D-Day, it's all the mind game that I think will be different from the mocks. Mocks may you will be kind of relaxed, but on the D-Day, lot is on the line.
As an engineer, you also mentioned that you got to improve your VARC over the time. What were a few things that you specifically did to get better at it? Because there's no specific curriculum of VARC, right?
Right. So one thing is start the habit of reading. So I was a person who was not reading, who doesn't read a lot. So I started reading, not like I started reading high fiction, very big fiction novels and everything. I started off with reading some newspapers, articles, etc. Then so I slowly started the habit of reading. That was the first thing. Second thing was that VRC can be cracked a lot by practice also. Even though you don't have a specific curriculum, but we know it will be RCs, it will be para jumbles, it will be summaries, etc., odd one out, etc. So you know the type of questions that you'll get, and when you practice a lot, you will get a hang of how you can approach the question. And obviously you'll be taught by coaching centers and everything on how to approach these questions. So it's all about understanding that and trying it in a different way on your own on different occasions. So in my mocks and everything, I tried to attempt in multiple facets, like, okay, how can I attempt in this manner? Okay, now I can attempt it this another manner, which was helpful for me. So I found my sweet spot, how I can approach these questions. And then yeah, at the end of the day, and by the end of this preparation, you will have a standard set of procedures as to how to approach a question, a specific question. And then I was happy with my performance there, because uh, coming from a non-VA kind of an approach, I was constantly scoring good in VA. So it is more about starting off with your reading habit and also practicing a lot and trying to figure out the way that will actually will help you to solve these kind of questions. It's what my piece of advice is.
Reading a lot, understanding the pattern, and then modifying the way you approach all those sections.
Right,
That is
right.
exactly. So after the CAT examination, you of course had to appear for a lot of interviews post that.
Mhm.
So what were the colleges that you sat for the interviews of?
So first of all, the very first call was from SPJIMR, because it was a profile-based call, and you will get the call even before your CAT results are out. So I got that. Then I started preparing for SPJIMR in like from that point itself, because I know I won't get any main aims call, because the only shot that I had was I am indoor, because I had 99 ranged 10th and 12th marks, which is a uh, high point of
Highly valued.
contribution.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in IM indoor. So that was my only shot. But again, when I got SPJM call, I thought this is my thing. So I started preparing from then only. Then later on, and my interview also was done by Jan end, if I'm not wrong, because they start their interviews also very early. So by Jan end, my SPJM interview was done. Then I had calls from so major, if you analyze XLRA, I got a call. So I got decent in SAT also. So XLRA, I had an interview call. Then institutes like MDI, MICA, IMT, all cap calls, cap IM calls. Then some few IITs, and that's majorly it. So apart from the main IM, 6 IMs, and IM Shillong, I got convert also, like almost all the other IMs. Then MDI also I converted. XLRI I was not able to convert in the final interview, but I sat for the interviews. Yeah, SPJIMR obviously I converted.
So
So
when we, yeah, please, please, please.
so one more thing is that when you start converting, no, like you will convert a lot of colleges. So it's like if you get a hang of it's like this government exams. If you start converting and getting into the list of one or two exams, you'll because you know you are doing something right, and the people are also understanding. The panelists will also understand that okay, this guy is good for it, and because you will
You're able to
reach that
crack the
stage.
code of it, right?
Yeah, you will get a hang of it, and you will know what to give and what to talk. So once you start converting, then almost you will get almost 90% of the calls you will convert.
If we get a little more nuanced with the discussion, how was SPJIMR's interview experience different from the rest of the colleges? Like,
Okay.
was there something else that the interviewers were judging you on?
Yeah, actually SPJIMR's interview process is completely, I would say, different with the other people. First of all, the selection process itself is unique. So no one will give you a profile based calls. Now people have changed. Some people, some colleges have started taking profile based calls, and even I am Bangalore, I am Ahmedabad, they are looking for, but mostly they are looking for gender diversity, course diversity, etc. But here it's more than that. It's more like how you are aligned to a certain profile. So you are joining as a marketing guy at SPJMR. So how well a marketing guy are you? So do you have good prior work ex, either in work ex or in internship? So are you consistent in your academics? Are you a person who has good national level achievements or state level achievements in your extracurriculars? It's not like I am a good dancer. Okay, are you a, are you a state level winner or like national level winner in that? So they check all these things and they provide the profile based call. So the call itself is unique. Then coming on to the interview part, so rather than a personal interview, SPJAMA conducts group interviews, and that too 2 rounds. And along with that, you have a VAT also, writing ability test. So once you finish the VAT, you will be moving on to GI1, group interview 1. So in GI1, mostly you will be sitting with 4 other of your peers, not necessarily from your same specialization. There can be a person from uh, marketing, there can be a person from information management, there can be a person from business management. So all these people will be sitting together, and the panelists will also be there. And questions, it's not like a group discussion. Questions will be targeted to one person, but the other question can be a continuity of this question. For example, if I am asking you, Kripal, how did you manage or how did you work in your family business? Suppose you are working in your family business, and you are saying that okay, these are the things that I have done, and this is the result that I got. Then a follow-up question can be asked to the next candidate itself. Ki, okay, you have listened to Kripal and his family business. His family business, say, suppose in pharma. So how what all, and you are actually a sales and marketing guy, and how can you expand his sales into other part of the territory? So it can be a continuation question from other candidates. So it's not like you are intervening like a group discussion. It's always in the hands of the panelists that what to ask and whom to ask. But yeah, this entire ecosystem will be in such a manner that there will be a lot of exchanges of topics. So that's how the group interview one, and it will be mainly specific. It will be specifically related to your work ex and technical domain knowledge. And coming on to the GI2, if you qualify in GI1, they will tell you in half an hour that you are qualified. Okay, some people will qualify, some people won't qualify to GI2. So you will get a partial answer there itself whether you are going ahead or not. And then you will move on to GI2. GI2 is like again something that differentiate SPJMA from others. Here you will get questions so deep into your value system and everything. So they're mainly looking for a cultural fit. So they want to know what are your thoughts on world issues, or how have you placed humanitarian values over other things. So you will get discussion about a lot of things which you won't expect in a B school. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. But again, after that, then you will get the result towards the end. But one more thing is that, I mean, unlike other, I won't name a lot of B school interviews, but some of the interviews you will feel like, why the hell are these people asking me these questions in an MBA interview? And why are they so harsh? So even though they want to make it maybe a stress interview kind of a thing, but people will be very harsh. They want to check, they want to make you in a position that you are not able to answer this question. But what is the point? You'll think things like that. But when you come to SPJIMR, 90% of the people will be very humble to you. People wants to know what you actually know about this particular thing, rather than just giving you stress and making you uncomfortable. So they will make you comfortable and have a discussion than just stressing you out. So the approach wise also, I felt like SPJIMR's process was way better than others. It's not like I'm part of SPJIMR right now and I'm boasting their process. I can demean SPJIMR also. If there was a choice, but in this case, it's actually I have a lot of respect to the type of process that they conduct. And it's not like it was in my year. I had a word with my juniors, and now also the interviews are happening for the upcoming batch. So it has been the same thing because it's a cultural kind of a thing. They have made the process in that way so that it continues the way it is. So this is something different from other people.
The typical B school interview. They uphold all of their cultural values and stuff. But one another reason that comes up in my mind is, are they doing this to save time as well? Given the large pool of applicants, probably 5 to 10,000, grouping them together into batches of 4, are they doing this to save time as well?
Logistics wise, maybe yes. But again, if you see one interview, it's like 1.5 hours, 1 hour 50 minutes. So yeah, they can actually go for personal interviews also, but obviously it will save some time. But the point is not that. I think the rationale behind that is to understand how a person is behaving in a group setting. So you'll understand if you sit in a group interview, you'll be comfortable also because they have a lot of people around you. But again, at the same time, you will be a little perplexed, like because you eventually know that you are competing with these people. Maybe not directly because there are other spec people also. But again, you will know that you will be analyzed and benchmarked upon the performance of others, and that too directly. So in a personal interview, you will come, you will create an impression, and they may or may not remember that, and then the next person, maybe they will compare with the previous person, but not exactly. They will compare you as a person only. But here it's a direct feedback, right? So you are sitting and one person is answering a question in such a way, and the other person is answering in a different way, and the panelists can directly spot a kind of similarity or a difference in that answers. So it's a little challenging, but at the same time, when you start off with the conversation, you won't actually realize, okay, you are in a competitive space and everything. You will start with the conversation, and it's actually nice. It's actually, if you get a chance, you should attend at least one group interview in your life. It's a good experience.
I mean, it's a unique experience given the kind of consequences that are involved. Because you
Yeah.
already mentioned that you'll be benchmarked depending on the quality of the group that you're a part of. Imagine if we have all the best public speakers of the world sharing a group and then you are just a normal candidate. I mean, I'm giving you an example.
Yeah.
So that is
So
something that,
that
yeah.
one more thing, like it's not like you will be only judged upon this fact only, but it's a normal human thing, right? If you are having a panelist, if you are a panelist and you are having these candidates in front of you, if one person is not performing at all and the other people are performing really great, so obviously you will feel that okay, this guy is lacking a little bit. But again, since you are mixing the specializations, you are mixing the kind of profiles that you get, it's highly unlikely that all, like for example, if 5 people are there, 4 people will be like 100% and one person will be 50%. That is highly unlikely. And then like it's not just the performance or not just the, if like you said, public speaking. It's not like you are a good public speaker or you are so verbose and everything. People will go deep. So even if there are a lot of introvert people who are very well adversed with their uh, as a domain knowledge. For example, if you see marketing, maybe I'll agree there are a lot of people who can speak a lot. But in other spec, there are a lot of people who can do their job and manage a team even without being a great public speaker. So these people will analyze and grab it because they have been doing it for a longer period of time. So it's not like how you publicly, how you speak in the public, and how you are verbose and all. It's more, there are a lot of facets, and there are a lot of other facets as well, and also including your profile, your score. So we don't know the exact kind of weightage given to all these things, but yeah, you'll have a chance even if that is the case that like you mentioned, Kripa.
So apart from public speaking, the onus on the candidate is also to listen to the candidates right beside him. Like for example, you
Yes.
mentioned that case where they're asking a certain question and then it's getting followed up on him. So it's a little deliberative process. But when I talk of the ratio, what is the ratio of panelists to students? Like how many panelists are a part of the group interview?
So every panelist, mostly it will be two. So two panelists.
So two panelists for four students, 2:2 ratio. Two.
No,
That's a
one is
little
to three, two, and mostly six people. So
wow.
it's like that.
Wow. So it must be a little more difficult, to place yourself in the position of a panelist and analyze six
Mm,
candidates.
right. So that's why we have two rounds to
Yeah, yeah,
analyze.
yeah. And the second round is purely HR based, like purely values,
Ledger.
whatever you
Yep.
feel, whatever you understand about stuff.
So we
That's
also have a form B that you have to fill when you get a shortlist. So there are a lot of things asked in the form, starting from like describe yourself in 10 sentences. So it can be like, I love mountains over beaches, or I am not an extremist, or you can say I'm a hardcore fan of Virat Kohli. So all these kind of things you can mention, and you can expect questions from that in GI2, because they will go through this form and they will find something interesting, and
oh,
they want to start conversation. For example, if I'm telling that I love mountains over beaches, there will be a rationale behind that, right? And
yeah.
they are more interested in knowing that. It's not like, okay, I like the climate of mountains or beaches. There'll be some more as a person that you love
A
mountains or
certain
beaches.
association. Yeah.
Yeah. So they want to understand what is the underlying reason, or if you have a point of view, so they will ask you a lot of recent developments. So one of the questions that I remember was, at that time the Veerdas issue was going on. So Veerdas had conducted a stand up in London, if I'm not wrong,
And he
and
was
then
speaking something that was not really agreeable for the greater
yeah.
public, right? Yeah.
Correct, correct. And public, especially political wise, the BJP had a lot of issues with that. So then they asked me the question that are we are we more intolerant kind of people to jokes these days? What is your views upon that? And you can tell, so you can either way, you will have your views in multiple dimensions, right? But they are actually they are actually want to know what is your view. And even in the same panel, people will have multiple views. The good part is they will actually acknowledge all your views, and they won't disregard any views. So I still remember in my panel, there was one guy who has written in this 10 statements that in one statement he has written, I binge watched a Netflix show during my work. Okay, so which is actually something. You can actually grill him on that, because the panelists can ask, why the hell have you written something like this in on an interview context, right? But the panelists were so nice. They were like, this is something that caught our eye completely when I started reading your application. Do you mind sharing with us, like, what is the rationale behind writing this? So they asked in a very polite way. So he told like he wanted to add some kind of comic element to the entire this thing. Then he understood in the interview itself that, okay, this is something that I should not have written. But yeah, just give you a context. This is how the talk will be around. But yeah, the people are nice, so it's a more like a conversation than just a typical interview.
Gokul, given the fact that you've already been through the experience of appearing for group interviews, is there any advice that you'd want to give to all the students out there who are about to sit for the what do you call admission process of SPJIMR?
Mhm. So this is something that I tell all the aspirants. Like the main, you also already mentioned that, Kripa. Like the major thing that you want to prepare. So first of all, you have to be very well prepared on your profile. So whatever is being asked from your profile, whatever you have been doing, or whatever you say in the form that For example, you have been working in a sales and marketing domain, and you know that you have done this much work in digital marketing. So you are expected to know all the concepts of digital marketing and the work that you did. That is a given. So this I will give as an advice for all the interviews. Know your profile and yourself out and out. Sorry, in and out. Now, specifically to SPJIMR, like you mentioned earlier, listening also plays a lot of importance when it comes to group interviews. It's not like you have to be you have to listen to only the question that is being asked to you. You should get a context on what is being happening around you. So that is a very big kind of thing, because if you are not listening to the entire thing that is happening around you, you might find it very difficult to answer your questions. So that is one thing. And second thing will be to, just rather than considering is that as a personal opportunity to score or perform compared to others, take it as an opportunity to get into a good conversation. And that is what the panelists are looking forward to. So rather than just saying that, okay, I have seen people also like they'll raise their hands that I will answer this question. Don't do things like that. When you get the opportunity, you can speak, and don't say that, okay, I have performed greater than the other guy, so I deserve a seat. That may not be the case, because there will be a lot of people that actually outperforms you in an entire cohort. So don't take it as a competition. Just take it as a conversation, because that will bring out the best in you and also will be helpful for the panelists to analyze you as a better candidate. So this will be some of the tips that I'll give.
Adding to that, having an opinion on things that are happening as well, that might be a good precursor to approach the conversations.
That I consider as a prerequisite if you are going for an MBA course and you are actually planning to become a future leader, right? So you have to have your opinions. It's not like you have to be fully you should fully know about the political things and all the current affairs that is happening on. Maybe
At least the
that's not.
surface, superficial.
Yeah, yeah, because maybe following current affairs is not something that everyone likes. It's all personal opinion. But again, opinion for something. So if you get to know, okay, for example, the farmers protest is happening, and you get to know these are the reasons, you should be able to form an opinion on your own. So that is something different. Knowing a current affair and knowing something and having an opinion about it is something different. So this, I think, is a prerequisite if you
For most
are
type of
at
thing.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And apart from that, you were mentioning that there are certain people who want to, portray themselves as a certain candidate and try to get better of the group interview. That is something that happens a lot in the group discussions as well. People go out there with this objective of trying to make a mark, an indelible mark on people, and then they are the ones who don't get shortlisted. So that is one good point.
Trust me, man, like you haven't seen the entire of it. When you come to B school placements, you will see a different context altogether, because
Yeah.
when you have this job in your line and a job on the line, and you want to, you have to outperform the others, group discussion can be very disgusting, So that's a that's the thing with human minds. It works with our human brain. So
When your
you
livelihood is
can't.
at stake, there'll be a lot
Yeah,
of
you will
trouble in
do
it.
a lot of things. But yeah, try to avoid all these kind of things. I try to avoid doing that in my group discussions. But yeah,
Yeah.
there'll be a point that uh, personally for you, you will have a personal opinion as to how you want to go about it. It's fully up to you. But yeah, this is something that I believe will be helpful. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. After you got shortlisted and after you got the admission to SPJMR, the campus is in Mumbai or is it in Delhi, the SPJMR
Mumbai.
campus?
So we have two campuses, but the main campus is in Mumbai.
So you guys also have an auditorium in the South campus of Delhi University, if I'm not wrong, the SPJN auditorium. Are you aware of that?
No, this is the first time I'm.
So there is an SPJMR auditorium in our South campus, and that is where we have our events as well. Uh,
Oh,
have you heard
nice.
of DBE, the 27th college in India for MBA?
DB, can you tell me the full form?
Department of Business Economics from DU, DFS, DB. You
Yeah,
must have
that,
heard of
that
it.
I know. That I know. Like Delhi University, the colleges, I know.
Yeah, so DB is where I'm studying currently. So
Oh,
we
nice.
have an association with SP Jain's auditorium. That's where we have all of our events. So I was wondering if you had known about it.
It's actually SPJIMR, right? It's not
Exactly,
SPJ.
exactly.
Okay, so there's a lot of uh, issues with this SPJ and SPJIMR because people often think SPJIN Global is an affiliate of SPJIMR, which is not actually the truth.
Uh-huh.
So SPJIMR is entirely different, and SPJIN Global is a different entity altogether. So I was
Whoa.
thinking if that's the case, but I think it's part of the SPJIMR Delhi center mostly.
Yeah, probably. And what
Yeah.
about the Mumbai campus? Is it pleasing to the
So
eyes? Is it worth it?
it's like compared to, so there are multiple facets that you can look into it. One is being a Mumbai campus. So being in Mumbai and Andheri West, which is kind of almost a city area, it's a pretty good campus. It's not like we are only having SPJMR here. We have other colleges because we are affiliated to, we are actually part of the Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan institute group of institutions. So we have some UG colleges like Bhavan's College and then SPIT, SPC. So all these colleges are there in the campus. It's, if I'm not wrong, around 40-50 acres of campus. The
Oh,
campus is good. Like you won't get a huge campus like what you get in other IIMs because there they have a lot of land, everything. But here you won't get that. The best part is that you will get a, you have a, we have a lake here inside the campus. So that is something I don't think every campus will have. But I have seen much better campuses in terms of infrastructure. So recently I went to SIBM Pune for an inter college tournament. So they have a huge campus and it's like three times big as ours. But again, yeah, it's not just the campus, a lot of other facets. But
it's the
being a
people who
Mumbai
occupy
campus,
the campus, right?
yeah, that is, in my perspective, that is the main element. But there are people who considers campus and then takes a decision. But if you compare with other Mumbai campus, NMIMS is there, your JBIMS is there,
This is
and
there.
all this is there. So compared to all these campuses, uh, this is something where you can call it a campus because there are a lot of not just the buildings. You can have ground, you have grounds, you have lake, everything. But yeah, there are other colleges also. I am Mumbai right now. Niti turned into I am Mumbai. They have a good campus because it's a government college and they had it like for a longer period of time.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's a decent campus, if I, in my
But still
opinion. But
30 to 40 acres right in the center of the city. That's still very much respectable.
that's but yeah, and in terms of infrastructure, the academic block is kind of top notch. Like in terms of the classrooms and everything, it's all newer buildings. And even in the hostel side, even though we are residing in some of the old hostel, there are being multiple hostel blocks that is being planned and executed now. So just now, recently, one hostel block has been inaugurated. It's top of the notch. It's like what you see in like top colleges. I'm not saying about IIMs. You'll see this Masters Union and all these colleges.
Yeah,
They are
yeah,
boasting that they are up top notch in the industry and everything.
yeah.
So the newer buildings are also really good. Uh, Unlike not in our hands, we didn't get a gist of it because we are now passing out. But
Exactly.
people who are coming in will get a lot of amenities and all every here. But
Makes
it's a
sense.
decent campus.
Talking of the academic block, apart from the infrastructure, what about the kind of teachers that give you the lessons that you're supposed to take in the MBA program? What do you think of them? Are they worth it?
Yeah, if you are asking, like it's a very relative question.
Subjective
So
experience, yeah.
yeah, subjective and like faculty, I won't compare with other people because I don't know about how the situation is at other colleges. But if you are looking at credentials and everything, all the people are very well versed with either their industry knowledge or in an academia kind of a thing. So there are two kind of faculty that is here. One is people who have been working in the industry for quite some time, and then now they have shifted their focus area to academia. And there are people who started off with academia and currently doing academia. So both the category, the people, the faculty here is well versed with the subject knowledge and everything, and they are good people also. That's something that I highly regard. than their subject knowledge. So this is a personal kind of thing. The people wise, they are mostly everyone's kind of supportive and everything. Uh, why I'm not commenting on like a relative kind of thing compared to other stuff is because actually don't know how the faculty and everything is of other institutes. But I don't think if you're joining in a top 20 B school, no, like top 20 or top 30,
It will not make a
faculty
difference.
will be an issue. Yeah, everywhere they'll have top notch faculty, and but it's all about how you take the MBA experience. If you're just
Mm.
relying only on the faculty and learning only the subjects that you are learning in the classroom, I think then you are wasting your money doing an MBA. You have to do a lot more than just classroom. But obviously, one major factor is the faculty, which I think is a tick mark in all the top B schools.
On all the top
And
20 B schools, there's not a lot
yeah,
of difference. But SPJIMR seems to have a thing for morals. You keep mentioning this, you keep emphasizing on
mm.
this, that all the people are good over here, all the people are benevolent. That is something that was really pleasing to hear. Apart from that, what about the pedagogy? What is a typical lecture like at SPJIMR?
Okay, so again, because speaking of the humbleness and everything, it's all relative. Okay, I'm not saying
It's
everyone's
not
like
universal, it's subjective. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's not. You will then people will come here and if they will encounter some rude behavior like this guy, he was giving false information. You have to take this with a pinch of salt because there won't be all the people
A
who will be
similar set of
aligned with this.
experiences across people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but more or less they are good people. And now coming on to the pedagogy and everything, academy wise, it's almost similar. If you take the subjects, you will find almost similar subjects spanning across all the IIMs and SPJIMR also. So like in that point of view, it won't be kind of different. But if you come to other facets like non-classroom learning programs, here there's a lot of emphasis on non-classroom learning programs. For example, uh, in other colleges, the committees are something that you have to give your selection and you have to get the selection to be part of a committee.
Mhm.
Here, it's part of a, if I'm not wrong, in my time, it was 2.5 credits. Now it was 2 credits. Now I don't know the credit changes. So it is a credited course. So everyone will be allocated a particular committee. So everyone will part of a committee and work for 1 year, and you will be graded based on your performance also. So here the point is that if you are in an MBA college and if you are giving only a few people to be part of a committee and do some work, that's not fair. Everyone should get a point to prove. So that's how here so one program is AdMap. This is coming under AdMap program. Then you something you call Abhyuday is also there, where you will actually mentor a child from 6th standard to 11th standard. So you have a pool of people from 6th standard to 11th standard. You will get one person who is actually in a what you call the economic background is not so good, not
Underprivileged
so
dwelling.
yeah, correct. You got it pretty right. Underprivileged community, and you will mentor him or her for like 1 year of your time. So first year you will be having session. You will, and the good part is that you will actually visit their home. So and you will that teaches you a lot. Like you will go to these places where you will actually understand what all struggles people are facing. So even though being a manager, maybe people will argue that okay, this is something that is not needed, but as a person I think this is something that will open your eyes. You'll understand how people live in the bigger Bharat picture, and also how you can help these people. And on the business side also you can learn a lot because people our course outline entails that you when you are going you should understand what is the buying pattern of these people, where do they purchase, when do they purchase. So you're actually going on to the ground and understanding how an actual Indian lives and how they pans out their daily kind of a thing. So it's a good experience, and that is Abhyudaya. And then there is something called DOCC. So when everyone goes for summer internship in corporate in other B schools, we go to an NGO. So 1 month. So this first year people now in 1 week time they are going to different locations across India, and the basic prerequisite is that it should be at least 400 kilometers away from your home state. So that you won't get into again your comfort zone. So they want to send you out in some other place which you have to adapt. So I went to Maharashtra Raigad. So I was working with Swadesh Foundation. So then you have to take up a project and do it for the NGO. So these are all different kind of things that apart from the classroom learning that SPJIMR offers, which I find unique compared to other B school programs.
Abhyodaya and DOCC will also help you get better at collective psychology. That will make you a
Right, right.
far more responsible leader. And about the fact that you mentioned it is mandatory for every student to be a part of a committee, that really blew my minds apart. Because there's this one common problem across all the MBA colleges in our country is that there is this specific monopolization. There are a
Hmm.
certain handful of people who go out there and attract all the positions of all the committees. So this is an initiative that really like to laud SPJIMR for, like, wow, that's
Yeah.
truly commendable.
That is there, like even for a part, like you have to have that competitive thing, like there are some roles that you can't offer from a logistics point of view also. If you are starting a club and you want all the people to be part of the club, then there's no
It's not
point.
possible.
Yeah, it's not possible. But here in committee, it is possible. Like there are multiple facets that needs to be worked. And if you look at the committees also, it's quite different from other committees. It's not like a marketing committee or operations committee. It's like different. The campus living committee. There's a spirituality committee, and there is a communications committee which I was part of, which takes care of the content and everything. So like there are multiple things, but yeah, the underlying point is that at least in this thing, there should be a chance for everyone. There are a lot of other things where people can compete, but there should be one thing that actually builds up something that add value to their MBA, right? So that is the point.
Kudos to SPHMR for that. Apart from these things, what about the placements? Are the placements student run or does the institution have a say in it?
It's a fully student run initiative. So you will select the seniors will select your platform. And for us, the good part is that, see, for other B schools, the seniors will take care of your summers and the juniors will take care of your finals.
Exactly.
That's how it is. Here, our batchmates will take off your internship as well as your finals.
Wow.
So,
But after passing out, how will you guys take care of the juniors finals? Oh, your finals.
no, our finals. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, oh.
So we'll be doing our internship, and because we have an autumn internship process, so unlike a summer internship, which is actually getting shifted to a summer thing from this year onwards. So this is if exclusive content for you, Kripal, because it's not out yet. But yeah, this will be the case from this year onwards. SPJIMR will also move away from the autumn internship process to a summer internship like other B school because of a lot of reasons. But yeah, in our
To
case,
be
it
in
was an
line, to
autumn
be
internship.
in tandem with the rest of the colleges, of course. That must be one of
Yeah,
the primary
yeah,
reasons.
yes, and we have increased our batch size also.
Oh.
So you have to give good placements to the people. So there are a lot of logistical, strategical decisions involved behind this. But yeah, this is how the case is. Till our juniors, it's autumn internship. So our internships placements will start by July. So our team, our batchmates only will take care of that. And finals, obviously, they will again take care of that. So in coming to the placements, one thing that I can say is that SPJIMR's platform has been and was one of the most transparent platform that you'll ever see. So you can read upon and you can experience a lot of issues and lobbying when it comes to platform in many other institutes. That's not the case here. We know which all companies are coming on which dates, and it's very transparent. And I haven't seen a single platformer taking advantage of that platform kind of thing. So they will be strict, obviously, because they want to be strict, but they are not. People are not bullying here, unlike other B schools. There are cases. There are good platforms as well, but mostly what we hear in the B school spectrum is that they take advantage of their position and they used to bully a lot. But here, compared to that, it's very transparent and they won't bully you directly. Like they'll be strict, obviously. Otherwise, they can't place the entire batch. But you won't see people bullying and all. So it's a nice thing. Placement wise, and that is how it transfers to the results also. We got comparatively one of the best placements across all institutes this year. So when everyone took a dip, we we didn't
Took
actually
a
had
hike.
a big dip. We didn't have a hike. So this year we actually dipped, but it's like, so last year the average salary was 33.02. This year it's 33. So it's like a minute dip,
It's
but
an ignorable dip. Yeah.
an ignorable one, where
About
other B
yeah.
schools have taken 15% dip and everything.
Yep, yep, yep. About the issues surrounding the placement cells activities, for example, if there's any contention between the students and the place commerce, does the admin staff intervene in any case? Do they get to set things right?
So here, if the problem escalates beyond the capacity of the platform, there is a committee formed from the students itself to address these issues. So first that will be gone to, if you have any complaint to the complaint with respect to the placement team, you can actually approach this team. And if they can come into a consensus, like they will have a discussion with both the parties, and if they can arrive at a conclusion, they will surely do it. Otherwise they will escalate it to the staff. So we have a platform placement team of faculty also. So
Oh,
they will head the team, but the work is done by students only, but they are the heads. Then you will have a placement committee head, right? So then it will be escalated to that. But I haven't seen a single issue this year that has been escalated, because it's very minimal here.
seems like the morals really are in place. And coming back to the pedagogy part as well, what about the schedule every day? And how many days a week are the classes scheduled for?
Mm, Bro, again, it's like you can't
Dynamic.
say yeah, it's very dynamic. Like you can have classes on Sundays, maybe a holiday on Monday. So it depends on year to year basis also. Like how your other activities is planned will have a hit on how your academics is planned. So if you take term three, for instance, our term three was relatively chill compared to our juniors. Now they have every day 9 to 7, 9 to 8, maybe 9 to 5 at least classes. So it depends, because so there will be some restructuring of courses also. There have been an addition of lot of courses. Credits were also adjusted accordingly. So based on this, the schedule also will be hectic. So for
On an
us, it
average,
was
though,
very
it's
chill.
9 to 5, right? Every day.
9 to 5, 9 to 5.
Wow, wow,
Starts
wow.
from 9, and I haven't seen any courses starting before that. So 9 is the standard time, and then it can end till 8 and all. When the placement season kick starts, then that's the time when the schedule will actually be jam packed, because you have to attend classes, then you have to attend guest lectures, pre-placement talks, then you will have pre-processes. So that's the time when you will actually get into that hectic mode. And otherwise, it's 9 to 5, sometime 9 to 7, 9 to 8.
Wow, wow, wow. And apart from that, what about the marking structure? How do the professors mark you on your
Okay.
academics?
So here we follow the relative grading. So mostly every colleges will follow relative grading only. Here I haven't seen any faculty who fails people. So even though there is a fail kind of a thing in the bottom of the bell curve,
Mark sheet. Yeah.
yeah, people won't fail people here. And after F, there is a grade called D. That also I haven't seen people. A lot of people get D. I haven't seen that thing. So the grading actually starts from A plus to C. So you will get, based on your performance, the bell curve will be drawn. So based on, like, if you're on top 50%
Yeah, yeah,
percentile,
yeah.
the grading will be according to that. But again, you have to meet a certain CGPA to graduate from the course, which almost all the people will do. And one thing that I have to specifically mention here is the involvement of plagiarism. So if flag is there, then there's no mercy from SPJIMR. Okay, this is something which you will see that SPJIMR is other things. I still think they are flexible, but if you are copying some work and if you have some kind of flag, and this is uniform to all the faculty. Okay, whenever a situation is there with respect to flag, they won't listen to you. They will give you downgrades. They will even fail you in subjects for the reason of flag. So don't copy from others. Don't copy paste from internet. Don't chat GPT a lot. So that is the only thing, because and I think it's fair too from their part. Like they are expecting some point, some sort of
Some original
involvement.
thinking. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some contribution from our side. We even though the quality is not that far, but it is
At
actually
least it's your
your
own
thing.
individual effort. Yeah.
Yes. So that is something that they really consider important. So if you are doing plag, bro, then I think you will you will have to accept the consequences.
Apart from that, what about the grading? Like 70 marks for the end term or the presentations? How is the marking distribution
Depends.
divided?
Depends. There are a lot of components starting from quizzes, group projects, group assignments, end term, midterm. So it depends on the course. So ideally there will be one or two quizzes. There will be a group. Usually there will be a group presentation or group project, and then some. So there are courses which don't have end term. There are courses with end term and also a midterm also. It depends on the course, and there are multiple components. Quizzes will be ranging from 10% to 20% weightage. End terms are like 40% weightage. There's a certain rule in the academic curriculum that there should be at least, I think, one third or two third of the portion. I think at least one third of the portion should be individual component. So so apart from that, you can add group projects, group assignments, everything. But at least if I'm not wrong, one by third or half of the portion should be an individual contribution.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that is how it is.
That makes absolute sense. Now, coming a little more deeper into the placements aspect, what are the kind of companies that turn up for SPJMR? Like, it's a stronghold for marketing. Apart from that, what are the kind of companies that turn up?
So like this year, the major recruiters are from consulting. Based on the placement report, around I think 33% or around 30%, if I'm not wrong. Please, I beg your pardon if I'm not wrong here. But again, the major chunk of recruitment was from consulting, and second, very close to it is FMCG, and SPJIMR is a non-campus for FMCG companies. Almost all the FMCG companies visits SPJIMR. Then you will get a mix of Genman, product management, investment banking, all these kind of roles. So, but majorly this year it was dominated by consulting.
And about the more, what do you call, delicate aspect, the cash to
Mhm.
CTC ratio, like, is there a lot of inflation involved? Is there a lot of figurative assessment involved, or is it plain 80 to 90% ratio?
Again, depends on company to companies. There are companies, so everyone will know that the CTC that you are mentioning is not the actual enhanced salary that you will get. This I assume all our audience are aware about that.
If they
If you
seek to
see a
become an MBA.
Yeah, if you are seeing a fancy 1 crore package, it doesn't necessarily mean that you will get 10 lakhs per month in your account. It's not like that. So that can vary from company to companies, because some companies will offer ESOPs. So if companies are offering ESOPs, you can find it on a higher side of CTC. There are companies which offer a huge amount of variable component. So if you go into this IB and all this asset
Yeah,
management
yeah.
kind of domain, you will find a lot of variable commission based thing, because you have to crack deals. It's not like they can't achieve that. There are a lot of people who achieve major chunk of that money, and you can do that. But again, yeah, so if you want to boil it down, mm, so it can range from 50% to 70% in terms of fixed component. So again, we are yet to get our offer letters. Most of us are yet to get our offer letters. Then only we'll get a clear idea. But I've seen this happening over the seniors and how it is in the MBA spectrum. So 50% to 70% you can expect in your fixed salary. Again, fixed salary, there is base salary, the other stuff that is, I'm not going into the intricacies because there are a lot of things that is there. But base fixed salary you'll get around 50 to 70%, and then 30% or like 50 to 30% will be your variable, and in the variable you can have a performance based variable. There will be a retention or joining bonus kind of
Joining
things,
bonus.
and ESOPs also will come into play. So this is how usually a structure would be.
Talking of your batch, Gokul, are there any students who've had a very poor academic history who've made it to SPJMR? Are there any people with such poor profiles who made it?
So if you take SPJMR academic wise, if you are we are having very poor academics, I'm so sorry. you won't get the call.
Yeah,
So in my batch, but there are people. So uh, I haven't seen anyone who's like uh, a 666 or something. I haven't seen that. But there are people who have maybe a 6 or a 7 in one part. Like maybe in UG they are 6 or 7. 12th maybe a 7 or 8. So I have seen that one dip. But again, if you are consistent, if you don't have a consistent academic performance, most likely you won't get a call.
you won't get into SPJIMR. That makes sense at the end of the day. Not for the people
Mm.
who have not had that in their CV, of course. But
Mhm.
yeah, moving ahead, you also mentioned in the earlier part of the episode that there are some things that are very idiosyncratic and unique to SPJIMR, something that no other B school has. Do you mind shedding
Mm.
light a little more onto that?
So first thing is the emphasis on non-classroom learning. So
Yeah.
here there's a notion that you want to create value-based leaders. So it's not like you want to know in and out about the business, but you have to know how to behave in a group context, how to be empathetic, know the people around you, know the impact of your work that you're doing. Your impact should reach even the minute kind of population in your country. So all these kind of things are being transferred to us culturally through these kind of programs. Then uh, one special thing for our batch is that there's a lot of emphasis and care taken to the specialization. So they want people who actually know what they are doing. So if I want to do a marketing course, I have to choose it right before the admission, right? So they are looking for people who actually have a understanding about how they want to pan out their future. So that is something. And when you come to the class, even though the first year is mixed and you are almost learning the entire concepts similarly, when it comes to second year, when you move on to a specialization course, it's actually a really good term. So term 4 is highly regarded here because that is where you are learning your the core subjects. And one specific thing was autumn internship. So like that is some unique part. Now it's not there. It's like you have to accept, you have to innovate when you are moving forward, right? But autumn internship, the good point was that even why it was appealing for corporates, because see, for all the campuses they are going in the month of July or August or something like that. And why specifically for SPJIMR we have to come in this period, and you have to offer an internship in September to October. So that is something that the companies will ask. But one answer to that was that when all the other B schools they are sending people for internships, they hardly know about anything that is related to their domain, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
so you actually don't have a big difference when you are enjoying an MBA program and sitting for your summers. But in our case, we attend our placement interviews after
The
our
completion of term
specialization
one.
term. Completion of term 4, so the specialization term. So we actually know. So the interviews will also be tough because they will actually ask you a lot of in-depth
MBA
questions.
questions. Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, when that intern is coming to your company and he or she is being offered this particular project, you can expect a lot more value addition in terms of the concept that is discussed in the MBA circle. I'm not saying that these people will put in more effort and everything, because every people are like all the people are really good if you are in the top college spectrum. But in terms of the knowledge that is there discussed in an MBA spectrum, you can add more, you can expect more value addition in that part. So that is also something unique.
SP Jamar gets a lot of decisions right. This is another decision that I corroborate and agree with. Like, absolutely.
Yeah, but now like again I'm
We'll
re-emphasizing
have to
now
share it
it's,
up. Yeah,
yeah, we have to do it. But again, it's the we have to innovate on the go. So
exactly, exactly. And apart from that, Gokul, is there an international exchange program in place as well when it comes to
okay.
SP Jamar?
Yeah, so we didn't touch upon that. Good that you raised the point. So, like any other B school, we have international exchanges. So, almost this year, 60 people got the opportunity to go to other countries for the exchange. So, it will be spanning across 2 months. But we have something other than international exchange as well, which is called a global fast track. This is also something that sets SPJIMR apart from other B schools. In global fast track, the entire cohort, so it's a mandatory course, the entire cohort will go to a foreign nation and will have a 3-week course. So this time we are going to Michigan, US. So next week, mostly March 2nd week, we'll be going to Michigan for our GFT Global Fast Track, where every student will get an opportunity to experience how things are in a global university. So this is like for Intex people who have gone to Intex, they will directly come from Europe or something to US. So they also have to do this program. But again, international exchange is something that they will get as an additional thing. But again, there are intricacies also. You have to bear the expense of living in a foreign country for this period. But again, like if you ask me, it's a good program because you will get at least if you are not planning to go for international exchange, still fine. But GFT is a 3-week thing, kind of a 1 month kind of commitment. So it's always nice to have a global exposure, at least for 1 month. So
And
this
you're
is also
supposed to
something.
and you're supposed to bear the traveling and both the accommodation expenditure.
Right.
Or is
Right.
there an academic fees involved as well of the university and
Academic fees
pursue
also, yeah. Academic fees is
academic
also
fees
involved.
also?
So that is like academic fees and your during the course, how your accommodation, everything is taken care of is done by the college. So it is actually part of the fee that you will get. So once you join, once you get the offer letter, you will get a PDF where
A
they'll
breakdown
mention the
of all
first year.
the fees that will be
Yeah,
charged.
they'll have a complete breakdown. And the GFT is something that you can't opt out. So it's a mandatory kind of thing. But it's like it's good. Like if you are getting, I don't know when you will get an opportunity to visit the US. You won't get the visa only. So
And more
this is
importantly, with the entire cohort of 3 to 400 students,
right. So it's more like a. So it's after our
an
placements also.
exertion. Yeah.
So yeah, initially it was after our term 4 where we are just about to sit for placements. But now it's after placements everything. So everyone's chill. Like everyone wants to take some time and chill around. So and we are having an option to extend 2 weeks there. So we are extending 2 weeks, 2 more weeks there. So that is the thing. So, but it's a good
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. What about the total fees, Gokul? The entire fees of SPJIMR spanning over 2 years. What is the total fee component?
So my fees will be coming around 26 lakhs, including all the
Including of
GST,
the GFT and all of that.
everything, including GFT's expenses, everything. But I think my junior batches will reach around 30, if I'm not wrong, including GFT. But if you
Any
exclude the
reason?
GFT, because the always every B school will increase their fees and all,
But
there
a
will be an
hike of
increment.
4 lakhs is a little hard to digest.
Yeah, but the thing is, see GFT, if you set it aside, there'll be tuition fees and all those kind of things. So tuition fees they have increased by 1 lakh or something, 1.5 or something
Uh-huh.
uh, per year. So you can expect an increment of 2 to 3 lakhs there. Then GFT fees also the other institute will increase. So when a 10% or a 5% increase in each component, overall there will be quite some difference. So again, so that's how it is. You can expect a 10% to 15% increase every year. But again, it shouldn't shoot up above 30 lakhs because. But if you compare the fees, uh,
Across the rest of the
removing
B schools is still
yeah
reasonable,
removing
given the
the
inclusion
GFT
of
part.
GFT. Yeah.
I'm saying if you remove the GFT part and compare the fees, it's very low compared to other B schools.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And if you take the likes of ISB and all, you don't have to mention that because
Absolutely.
it's.
Absolutely.
But again, yeah, this is something that is there. You have to keep in mind at least 30 lakhs when you are joining an MBA program. That is what I tell to all aspirants. If you are joining a top program, there are exceptions like FMS and IIM Mumbai, everything. But if at all you are planning for an MBA from a top B school, take a loan for 30 lakhs or keep your savings for 30 lakhs because it will be touching upon that.
And probably it'll be worth it as well.
Yeah, it will be. In my experience, yes. Again, the market conditions will come and go.
Always
But
fluctuate.
again, yeah. But if you are in one of the top B schools, you can get a lot of good ROI. It's not like the ROI again. personally, I don't calculate ROI just on the basis of average CTC and the fees. The ROE that you will get being a part of top B school will go way beyond your average CTC. So you will understand that in the long run. So I'm banking on that. But anyways, average CTC wise also we are good. So I'm expecting it will be a good investment that I made.
Talking about the worth of that investment and diving a little deeper into your experience of graduating, almost graduating out of SPJIMR, what do you think about the growth that it has contributed into your life? If
A
you had to
lot
sum it all up.
personally a lot of changes because see I've been till my work ex or before joining SP I was completely staying working and developing myself in Kerala only. So this is the first time I'm coming out of my home state, and I, I had this issue of speaking fluently in English also. Like if you see my previous blogs, because even though we learn English, we know what to speak and everything, but we never speak. So we hardly got an opportunity to speak in English and everything, right? So when I came out of Kerala and started mingling with a lot of people, that itself personality wise, mm, I groomed a lot in terms of my communication and everything. And secondly, you get to know a lot about other people, people from other parts of the country. So this is something you'll get from an MBA program, right? So it's
Exactly.
not like SPJMR kind of thing,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I'm saying, so you get to know a lot about other people, so you can learn a lot from them. Now, now coming to Mumbai and residing here was something also quite fascinating because at one part you can see the people who are building the nation, and on the other hand you can see people who are struggling to meet their days,
Make their ends meet.
meet, yeah, ends meet of a particular day. So like personally that shook me a lot. So personality wise that is also there. And then obviously the things that you learn here, especially if you ask me, my term 4 and the marketing concept that I learned is something that I won't get anywhere else. So and it actually you can transfer that into a business if at all you want to plan to become an entrepreneur sometime in the future. So the courses adds value, the connections that you make, and also the one thing we missed out is the opportunities that the corporates give you in the likes of the campus competitions, the corporate competitions. So being a top B school, all the top companies will uh, want your participation in different competitions. So even if you ask me, I had an opportunity right early in my first year. So I had a competition with respect to Amazon, and I was one of the national winners, one out of the two national winners. So I got to spend one entire day shadowing the operations vice president of Amazon, and they flew me to Bangalore. They gave me 5-star hotel for 3-4 days. So I get to shadow him for all the meetings, and I get to visit the fulfillment center. And there are a lot of people who can visit the fulfillment center, and I was one great part was that I was one of the few who can actually film the fulfillment center. I got the permission to film and make a vlog out of it. So these are all perks that I got after joining an MBA program, which I wouldn't get anywhere else. And coming on to the serious part of that thing, like if you are shadowing, you're actually going into the board meetings that he's going into. So the
Exactly.
first meeting that I attended was the review of the Prime Day sale. So I literally got all the numbers in my desk, on my desk, which is that is something that has been shared with all the other
Very confidential
leaders.
information.
Very confused. You have to sign the agreement and everything before that. But yeah, it was a great experience. I had to getting it towards almost at the start of your program. So that actually builds a lot of confidence on you. Then later on you will get a lot of opportunities. So if you are participating at the higher level, you will get some pocket money also. If you win the competition, you will get like prize money of 1 lakh, 2 lakhs. So which will actually help you in your paying your loan or maybe living
Yeah, yeah.
expense and everything. So this is also something that I got from an MBA thing and being part of a top B school. Yeah, mostly that, and obviously the placements are also a good part. This is how the Indian system works. So like you have to if you want a shot at one of the major companies, the easy way is to get into a good college and get the placements. It's not like people don't land up in Google or HUL, and the other way around also there are people like that, but it's not like a foreign university where you will have to apply with your CV and everything. So here, if you get into a good B school, I think 50% of your job is done. So then only you have to focus on your 50% to groom yourself and to make you an employable candidate. So in that ways also, I got the best opportunities. I got the opportunity to attend some of the best pre-placement talks because I got to know a lot about other companies. So yeah, at the end of the 2 year period, I am a happy person leaving SPJIMR. So yeah, I hope it will be the same for you also if you are going into top B school.
I hope with the onset of time, the kind of benefits that you're reaping out of the course will only increase. If there's one thing that we'd like to end the episode with is there any advice that you'd like to give to all the aspirants out there who are about to embark on their MBA journey or who are about to choose a choice, what do you call a career of their choice? What is something that you'd advise them on?
So first of all, you have to love what you're doing. So I know where you're coming from. Maybe you took engineering by choice, not by choice, and you ended up in a job that is not by choice. But this is a PG program, and I don't want anyone to say that I took an MBA without my choice. So taking an MBA should always be your choice because of the fact that it's not like a 2 year investment, not just a 2 year investment, but an investment
A
of 30
long-term
lakhs of your
investment. Yeah.
and long-term investment and also money involving around 30 lakhs or so. So it's more an economic side is also there, but at the same time, this is something after this. If you ask me if you can switch your roles and everything, you can, but again, it again won't add value to you for a longer period of time. So this is a decision that you have to take on your own. If you're sure that you want to go into a management kind of a role and this is something that you actually want to do, prepare well. That is the first thing. Now, second thing, coming to the preparation part, always aim for getting into the top 20 or 30 B schools. Don't go below that is my thing. Then there are different perspectives of people who don't want to pay a particular amount. So maybe they have to take a choice. And maybe people who can't make it to a top percentile, but again want to do an MBA. So if their aspiration is that much to do an MBA, they don't have any other choice. I'm not talking about that, but if at all you can devote your time, and if you want to get into some of the top roles and some of the top colleges, please do your own work and wait patiently. And even if you want to give one or multiple attempts, wait patiently and devote your work, and don't be hellbound to one particular institute. This I have seen with a lot of people, especially people who are having IIM phobia. People think that okay, it is I will go to even a baby IIM, but not to a private B school. In my personal opinion, don't do that. Consider all the facets, like all the elements that is involved, from placements to the kind of exposure that you are getting. Then take a decision. But when you are preparing, don't think about all these kind of things. Prepare fully for getting a top percentile, and then after that, prepare well for the interviews. And now, third part, getting in after getting into a top program, don't be complacent like I got into a top program, now everything is on my platter. No one will give you anything on a platter. So you have to understand that you have to fight for 2 years. Not like you have to be competitive, not like extreme kind of thing. All your batchmates are your friends, but again, you have to grab the opportunity whenever it is being available to you. And then at the end of the day, you have to fight for your placements also. It's a very random process, if you ask me, right from shortlisting to converting. But try working harder so that you can reduce that random element quite a little, quite a lot. So that's my three piece of advice to all the aspirants.
Choose wisely, prepare well, and don't get complacent. If I had to
Yeah,
summarize it all up.
yeah,
And
hard
if there's
work.
one word that I take away from our 1 hour, 20 minutes conversation is I am phobia. That sounds really funny.
Well, it's actually a true fact, bro. Like I have seen multiple people who are saying, "I'll go for an IM, but not to
A baby I am over a
IMC."
private college that's of great eminence. It's not the most
But
wisest of decisions.
I think that's one of the most bullshit decision that people will take. But it's all personal. I won't tell them personally that you're wrong because people won't like it.
Of
There will
course.
be some things, but personally and logically also, what I feel is
Logically
that
as well.
yeah, you have to choose the best that you have from the best that you have. That's
More than the brand, the utility matters.
brand also matters. I'm not saying, but I'm saying the top colleges also have a brand on its own.
Exactly,
So
exactly.
even though the problem is that, bro, like whenever this admission things and all these things happen, people tend to discuss this from within their circle and their close circle. But people who are actually in the B schools realm and B school environment or the corporates, they will know the importance of these B schools. But if you ask a normal person and you are saying, okay, I'm doing an MBA from SPJIMR, they will ask, what is SPJ? But if you are saying, okay, I'm doing an MBA from a baby IIMs or an IIM,
They'll be like,
most
wow,
likely they'll know, oh, you are doing it from an IIM. So if you want that kind of an ecstasy, you are getting that kind of attention from people, obviously that will matter. But if you ask me, people in the MBA spectrum as well as the corporates
the
knows
industry.
all the schools. Yeah. So in that way, it won't be an issue.
With that, we come towards the end of the episode. I really appreciate the fact that you took 90 minutes out of your schedule to be in a conversation with me. Thank you so much, Gokul, for agreeing to be a part of this.
Thanks a lot, man. I had a really good time. So and I always like to, have a conversation around all these kind of things. So, and actually, when it comes to helping out people, this is something that I also value a lot. So it was nice to have a conversation with you, and really good questions also. And I
Th-
wish you all the best going ahead with your podcast and all your content creation venture.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.